Dean Browne won the 2011 Crucial National Poetry Competition while still a secondary student. Since then his poems have been published or are forthcoming in the Penny Dreadful magazine, The Shop, Poetry in Chicago, Southward and elsewhere. Please welcome Dean Browne.
Delighted to be here. Thanks, Pat. The first poem is called Doppelganger by the Seashore. Who is it walks just at my back down shore, that stalks? Only his footprints where the flat white wave singes in. Somebody's door opens to live herring on the welcome mat. Sea dark here like Merlot of the cork that took an eye, or cheaper, pungent dark, notes of shipwreck for that classic spark. And more, suppose the curlews, gulls, or terns that circle down, as if for a stale crust, are fireworks that will, much later, burn the brighter as they fall, and what small cost laps in. Let him fish it from the shallows. The dead kite wins my own, and by his toe, like a spoiled trouvaille, a ruined map, a shoe. So, next poem is called Lee Fields, This and That. I remember writing it while waiting for my girlfriend to come down and meet my parents, which tends to generate a special kind of nervous energy, I suppose. It was written very quickly like that. In Lee Fields, This and That. It has nothing to do with that, by the way. Look, behind the big Yankee candle giving off jasmine for your welcome, but still fails to mask the haddock fetched from market a month back. First, at the musty brown butts on the sill, under which magpies nest with stiff bobble tails, the hinge, spinach green sash, bird shit, will keep us from none of these, and yet, beyond them, this window bottles a prospect of pub, spire, and amber garage, an infusion so tart it must be medicinal. Let's drink. The river spoons past us, tries to convey, one thinks, the image of city buildings downstream. Their peaks, but I come from mountains climbed for reasons that don't make the regional news. With water tints in places, with a slivery figure of 8 that looms like the pupil in love or poor light is a fish, the grey heron in profile as if he expects to be drawn, has seen it before us, and this reminds me. Remember the grey man we passed on his doorstep, polishing a quartz watch with a broken strap, which was frozen or hadn't been put back? Well, we call him Heron, and the Heron clocksmith, watchman, bide the time, time flies, lunchtime, both lonely for sure, but they seem to like it. And this poem is called Polytheism. He remembers the telescope most on winter nights, a cheapish starter model this, but it let him go to Mare Imbrium and back in minutes. Then he's that 9-year-old who wheels it to the window, dusts it off, and finds this keyhole in the hemisphere. Sometimes the lens reflects his own myopic squints, trained on whatever might chance to constellate, especially for his look. The soft blur of the Pleiades, or Cassiopeia he liked to picture rocking on a blue veranda, or that god who, deaf to his charades, hints nothing of himself and declines to comment, and is nobody's business for the moment, unless he means to say, sorry, you're too late. Maybe one or two more. This poem was written in response to Samuel Beckett's entry in the Great Book of Ireland. And I'd like to dedicate this to John Minahan, actually, if he's here. I had the honour of being photographed by earlier. It's called Words. And a lot of the images are drawn from Samuel Beckett's books, novels and plays. It seems that from your quiet plot, gin clear, the voice maintains. What struggles for expression past 4 strikings out your final scroll, and what the language means is nothing. A kind of simple genius touch, a gallows knot that's rendered in this home, not home, to silence, lint, occasion, dust. We will repeat your au contraire, unmist the glass, turn back the tape, restart the heart, until your stroke cleanly reveals, from studies deep as yours, one item more that loosens to the shape we like. The fledgling and the failing hands still better in their failure, moving through pure silence, where now Balakwa, who atones unbothered on his ledge, or even the skin-headed modern of Autolycus may, no matter how refined or raw, still demonstrate noblesse oblige while clutching the shortest straw. You almost want to say, be dead, lie back down in your bones. And I'll finish with a poem I tend to read called Tabernacle. Castaways, we hit the forest. Our camping stove turned low. I gripped the tent close for its trial in virgin attitudes of stiffness while lamps fluttered on the dark. It sank in, wave on wave, accordion-like, the only sin we knew. And soon the Jameson appeared. I'd burned one back, and by the third she laid her hand on mine like a napkin. Later, I caught those tiny gasps from Joan and Michael's tent, where he slipped into her like, this I taught, a frog a la Bachal, those dark, rippling walls where she kept centre, held her breath, so I had to puzzle how one could leave and neither be alone. Thanks.